welcome back, everybody. Slim Slam and the Bandwagon Fan. Week 5 NFL review show coming your way. But before all that, I'm Slim, he's Slam, and to my left, that is the Bandwagon Fan. As always, folks, proudly brought to you by the Jersey Cartel over on Facebook and JRV Electrical. Boys, how are we?
I thought about wearing all black players. I'm a little bit flat. The Chiefs.
In morning.
I'm not ready to write them off. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
writing's on the wall a bit. It's a bit doom and gloom.
Tyreek
isn't it?
Hill, 16-0 claim, dead.
Yeah,
It's been
that's-
gone for a
it's been
while.
dead for a while. Yeah.
My attire is pretty much framed around deflection.
Okay.
And
nice.
That's what
Is that why you're loud?
That's what we're looking for here.
You can't stand the light.
It's just- there's too much pressure.
To be honest, though, interesting week. Lost
Yeah.
our first coach of the season.
Yep.
Most missed field goal, extra points
Tied, yeah.
or
Yep.
tied. I mean, plenty of games decided by field goal kickers who couldn't even hit.
Side of
Like,
barn. Yep.
It's ridiculous. So, very interesting week. Some big scores, some great games. And obviously, like, as always, we're here to talk to you through
We're
it.
here to talk about it. Obviously, Tampa Tom there had a huge week in terms of overall numbers in the span of his illustrious long
A
career.
career day. A career day at 44.
You don't
which
get
is-
many career days at 44.
No, you don't. I mean, maybe if you're in business or banking or something like that, but definitely not the NFL. I want to mix it up for you boys on the fly here.
Okay.
I think off the top, we need to get the
Hit
monkey
me on the rip.
We need to get the monkey off the back. We need to get the pain, suck the venom out a little bit. Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs.
Whoa!
Off
My
the,
Bills, too.
off the top,
My Bills.
your Bills,
We are absolutely flying.
our Chiefs. And Slammer, I'm going to give you a bit of time to warm up into this. So I might go to you, Schnazi, but I will say before we do any of that, that if I see one more Jackson Mahomes TikTok, him dancing in the stands,
Yeah, I've had enough.
while his brother's out there, in the gun, out there going to war, and we're not coming up with the chocolates at all, there's going to be some issues.
Yeah.
So, look, I don't know how much as a Buffalo Bills fan I can really take away from this game because when you go up against one of the lowly rated teams in the NFL being the Chiefs and their defense who just can't stop, the Chiefs' defense is just shocking, and I'm sure Slammer will touch on it. But,
Shocking doesn't even begin to describe where my head's at for it.
Josh Allen only had 17 completions
Yeah.
on the weekend, and he had over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns.
We're talking 3 catches for Dawson Knox for 117
Their
yards.
defense is just abysmal.
Has Dawson Knox ever had a 100-yard game?
I'm not
Other than
sure.
on
He's
the
had a
weekend?
couple, but
he's been going all right lately.
Yeah,
he's having a
he is.
breakout year, but that was a bit,
But you just
on the nose.
Not trying to throw you guys under the bus and just throw shade at the Chiefs. I mean, I love to do that when they lose because it gets a bit of content. Mm-hmm. But the Buffalo Bills, we played Houston, we put up 41 points the week before. We've been on absolute tear of late. Put 38 up against the Chiefs. Probably speaks a bit about where the Chiefs' defense is, but specifically, Slam, you want to talk about the offense. And I mean, Patrick Mahomes in his last 15 games has had 14 interceptions.
Yeah, look, on the weekend, the two he had, though, were a bit unlucky. One, Tyreek should have caught, and 2, the other one hit a defensive lineman in the hand, bobbed straight up in the air and then fell back down into his lap.
Still, it's a concerning
unlucky.
number.
It is a concerning number, but I think a lot of them have been weird and wacky like that.
Like
but it's
drops and stuff like that,
things
yeah.
like that. Just passes that should have been caught, were deflected, and then were intercepted.
Maybe it's not less necessarily just a slight on Mahomes. It's maybe a slight on the team with turnovers.
It definitely
Because everyone
is.
plays their part.
Because last year, turnovers was not an issue. This year, turnovers is definitely an issue, and it's having a serious... what's the word I'm looking for?
Effect?
Yeah, effect on
Impact.
the win-loss ratio.
I'll tell you what's having an effect on that little conundrum you got going on there with the turnovers is that the offense is having to really push the ball more aggressively than they probably would like to, based on the fact that defense couldn't stop anything at all on the weekend and for much of the year.
That
So
defense would be lucky to stop a high school team at the moment, guys. It's embarrassing.
And that's being generous.
they're coming out. They're coming out there in
My
the gun.
freshman kindergarten team could beat them.
Yeah.
I'd put up at least 12.
So they'd take it up to Dirty Dan at strong safety.
Would they ever, boys?
think
Did he even have a tackle on
Dirty
the
Dan Sorensen
yeah,
Slammer
3.
is that's probably the most in the gun Kansas City Chief that's been in there
he's
for
painful.
3-4
So
years.
painful. You loved him.
Yeah, because I like the name and he had a bit of spunk about him, but there's just certainly this year it's much harder to tolerate the novelty.
Yeah.
When you're just giving up
When
on
you're not
plays
winning.
and letting Dawson Knox, a tight end, run 60 or I think it was 50 odd yards.
I don't know what they paid Frank Clark all that money. I don't know where the hell he is, but
Yeah.
he hasn't shown up all year yet.
Yep.
So if he'd love to get off the bus anytime soon, Frank, that'd be great. Last time you were seeing was probably the Super Bowl. 2 years ago.
There's no blood in the water at the
No,
moment. for the
absolutely no blood in the water. Yeah, Dirty Dan needs to go. One Thornhill should be taking all of his snaps because he is absolutely pass.
I love the monotone.
Yeah.
Just serious, like analytical view going, not done, not done, not done.
Write some of these careers off, seriously. But like, it's the thing when his name's escaped me now. When Chris Jones doesn't play,
Yes.
they are remarkably pathetic.
There was absolutely no interior pressure.
No,
and most of the year
because
he's been
Spags
playing,
likes to only bring pressure with 4, and if
Yeah.
Chris Jones doesn't play, that's not possible.
and the only time Frank Clark did bring pressure, he gave away rough in the pass, which was
Yeah.
touch and go. I granted.
Rough in the passer calls this year have been a bit hit and miss.
Yeah,
as
they're,
well,
they're always
100%.
hot at the start of the year. I just feel bad for Tyron Matthew because at the moment he's pretty much the only one out there that can play defense.
I mean,
Other
we're
than like
talking about
Nick Bolton, the rookie, he had the most. He had 6 tackles.
He
He can
has a
play.
crack.
He
Yeah.
can play.
Willie target him as his rookie, but he's doing well.
Willie Gay can play as well. Like those two blokes, I like the future of the linebackers there, but outside of that,
Is there a
It's
bit of
not
drinking?
great.
Is there a bit of drinking your own bathwater going on? Is that too soon to say?
with the
as-
Chiefs,
yeah. Is it
with
just
how like blasé
well,
they are.
You think it comes across blasé? And I mean,
I'm hoping, Blaze, that this was like so embarrassing, and I think it was, and I think they would be,
yeah,
that they
At home.
fixed their SHIT.
yeah.
Like that was insipid.
It's not just it's not
not
a
a week,
one.
though.
No, it's
Yeah.
not a week.
No,
It's like
and we talk about like they beat the Browns, lucky to beat the Browns.
Lucky.
They could be 1 and
should have
4
beaten
easily.
should have beaten the Ravens as well though.
And if they should have beat the Ravens, but if they were sitting at 1 and 4 and they managed to drop another 2 games, they probably missed the playoffs this year.
Yeah. Well, the conversation.
There's 7 teams.
The conversation.
It's still like with the way they're
It
going,
wouldn't be
though,
pretty.
and
No.
you wouldn't even have any confidence that they'd win a playoff game
No.
this year with where their
no,
defense
that's
is
the
going.
main point.
Oh no, there'd be no chance. But
mean,
there's no real reason why the defense has dropped off so dramatically. Like there's no
personnel
real
are very
personnel
similar.
changeover.
Yeah.
There's no massive like scheme changeover
Yes.
that I can see anyway. Like
Kendall
and
Fuller went out of
Spags,
the cornerback room.
that was not
couple-
last year. That was
couple
the
of
year. That
seasons
was the year
ago.
before. Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
I reckon
I
what's
can't work
happened,
it out.
My take on it all is not much has changed on their defensive schemes,
Mm.
but what has happened is teams have started to work at the offense. Chiefs aren't putting up as many points, so teams aren't having to play from behind, and then they can
Yeah.
play totally different. They can play. Teams
Yeah.
can play their own offensive scheme.
Yeah, but they were good coming from behind before, and now they're not.
Yeah, I know.
Now
but
they're
if,
not being
if
able to
you've,
do
if
that.
you've been figured out on the offense though, you're not going to be able to come from behind because look at them now. Like teams don't like put that much pressure on them. They just drop back, fill the holes. Don't
Yeah,
let Tyreek go.
nobody's blitzing anymore.
No
'cause
one
blitzing's
blitzes
when
them.
they kill them.
Yeah.
You just lock down Tyreek, you lock down Kelsey, and you got to make people like
They
Marcus
Absolutely.
Robinson. You got to make Pringle,
Yeah, he can't
Miko
play.
Hardman make plays,
Don't
and
start
those
me on
players
D-roll.
aren't going to
I'm
win you games.
routinely not making
What they
plays.
need to start doing, I think, is they need to stop going for home run balls and having 4-play drives. Because it just means the defense is never on the sidelines. They're knackered when they go out there, and they're not a great unit anyway.
You need
They,
6
like,
to 7,
he
8
needs,
minute
they need
drives.
to be running 8-minute drives, 12, 15 play drives.
And some of the
that,
commentary has been
like,
around that.
methodically
Yeah.
go down the field rather than looking for the 50-yard pass.
Use your running back. Take
Yeah,
the
they
time
need
off your
to
clock.
they need to take time off the clock.
And Edwards-Helaire got injured in the game on the weekend. However,
Yeah,
they
MCL.
weren't really running the ball before that anyway. So I don't know what's going to.
Before the weekend, Blaze, he was the 7th ranked running back.
Well,
Like
the Philly game,
yardage.
the Philly game, and the game before,
And the game
that,
before, yeah, exploded, yeah.
in LA. I think the Chargers game. I think it was
Yeah.
one.
I
A
think-
couple of 100-yard games, but
Close this out. But 2 weeks ago, I sat here and said I was about like 0.1% worried.
Yeah,
My
it's way
gauge has
up on that.
quickly gone to about.
It's like a 5 out of 10 now.
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
like about 50, 40. Like,
Yeah.
and my concern is not that they can still win games because they got a softer draw in the back half.
Yeah, most of their hard games are pretty much gone. It's
Yeah.
like Green Bay and Tennessee aren't exactly lighting
No,
up.
Tennessee
Green
aren't
Bay's
lighting it up.
Green Bay and the Chargers, the second leg of
So
that
I
is
still
the
think
hard part
they'll
left.
still
Yeah.
get there. They'll still get to the playoffs, in my opinion.
I
but-
wouldn't guarantee they were going to win the division though. The Chargers look like they'll run.
No,
away with it at the
Chargers will
moment.
run away with it. But I wouldn't even. That's when I talk about. I don't think they can win a playoff game. What I've seen out of their defense.
No, stuff would have to dramatically change.
Dramatically.
What am I
Drastically.
trying to say?
drastically.
Dramatically or drastically.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
a hybrid.
thrown,
I
I've
like
thrown
it,
them together.
dramatically.
Yeah.
Drastically. Dramatic.
See how frazzled I am?
What is dramatic is that they're more than likely going to have to go through the wild card. I
Yeah.
would suggest the way
Yeah.
the Chargers are going, and
Although it is the Chargers, Blaze, they do like to
true.
fall over.
And on the
But
same
yeah,
the same side of that coin is the fact that they will more than likely have to play playoff games away from Arrowhead, which is
On
something
the road.
something they've not had to do so far.
No,
with Patty
the
Mahomes.
last 3 AFC title games have gone through Kansas City and doesn't look like that'll be happening this year.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Pretty much
Unless-
going to guarantee that it won't be happening.
Well, it could, but It's not likely.
The gauntlet has been thrown down by a few teams already. The challenge is there.
Pat looks frustrated.
He does
is
look
the
frustrated.
other thing I'd say.
I'd be frustrated too. My brother fucking... sorry. You know what I'm saying? It's getting a bit much.
It is getting a bit much. I
getting a
feel
bit
like the other thing is, Blaze, like, I know people don't rate him, but I feel like this does highlight the importance of Sammy Watkins and how he spread the field, because that offense does not look the same.
He got injured today for Baltimore.
Yeah, he does that.
But
Does that a lot.
He does that a lot. He looked good in the first half of Baltimore.
Yeah.
He looked good
No, he
last
does.
week as
He
well.
looks great when he's playing.
Yeah.
The problem is he can't
Well,
get
it was
on
at
the field.
Buffalo. We drafted him.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly right.
All right, that's
And
enough,
he played for
Chiefs.
the Rams.
That's enough, Chiefs.
He's been on 4 teams already.
I hope you got your fill of Chiefs
Oh,
content
he'd
there,
be
folks.
30-something now.
Mm.
He's been around a
4
while.
teams in like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
So
Tell you who looked
for
right
a number
was,
4 overall pick.
was the gunslinger Emmanuel Sanders. Looked pretty decent as well, just quietly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Looked good.
2 years ago, he was one of the guns for hire. Everyone wanted to get him in.
Exactly. But
Yeah, he's a mercenary.
He's handy in there with Diggs
I'm
and
actually
Beasley.
surprised he's not at Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Okay, so back to your
Regular.
regularly scheduled programming. The LA Rams took on the Seattle Seahawks. They hosted them on Thursday Night Football and did come away with a win here, 26-17.
Real fizzer of a game in the first half here, Blaze.
Correct.
Absolute snore fest.
And the storyline, I guess, coming out of it is that injury to Russell Wilson. However,
Yes.
his replacement,
Smith.
Geno Smith, looked all
Mate,
right.
absolute throwback.
Did you
Yeah.
know he was in Seattle?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
I had no idea.
I actually had a look at the start of the year.
I'm over this.
A few of those teams that had some of those older quarterbacks and who their
Yeah.
replacements were. And I did pick up that Geno Smith was sitting there.
Right. I had
He's-
no idea. Like, if
Because
you'd asked me, I would have said, nah,
There's
no
plenty
idea.
of first round picks that might have played quarterback for the Jets that are sitting there as backups around the league at the minute.
Yeah.
There's a handful of them.
I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's plenty.
It'd be an army, but the Rams did get back on track.
Stafford
here.
came to life in the second half, and Robert Woods, in particular, had 12 catches for 150 yards and no touchdowns, though.
Yeah.
But just exploded. I watched the entire second half after I got off work, and like every time you looked up, he was catching the ball,
Yeah.
and it was always in space. Deshaun Jackson just had the one, but still went for 70 yards.
And they're still tracking all right, the Rams.
Yeah, I
in
like
terms-
them. I like them to win the division over the
Yeah.
Cardinals. Still, there's something about them that just feels
And they're
more
building
confidence.
chemistry as they
Yeah.
go, whereas the Cardinals have been settled for a year or two.
I think the thing that surprised me in this game was how much Seattle tried to run the ball.
Yeah.
And the amount of times they tried to run it into Aaron Donald. Like Aaron Donald typically, and he had 7 tackles on the weekend and a sack. Aaron Donald typically ends up with 2 tackles and 1 assist.
Yeah.
Because no one runs at him, no one takes
No.
the ball near him, and his tackles are normally sacks.
Yeah.
He's had 7 on the weekend. What are they? They've got... So Chris Carson's their number 1 running
and he
back.
didn't play.
They've got this
Yeah.
young fella called Collins running around.
Yeah.
He was
Every
at Baltimore.
Straight in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight in to Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Rashad Penny, their first round pick, he's injured again.
Yeah,
He's
still
always
not
injured,
playing,
that
yeah.
bloke.
And I'm just sitting there going, Seattle, you're running the ball at Aaron Donald. They did it once on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
Straight into Aaron Donald, stuffed it, turnover.
Yeah.
I
just
mean,
couldn't believe it. Russell Wilson
If
had
you'd
an
done
off
it once
day.
or twice, you could go, oh yeah, try and catch them off
Surprise
guard.
them.
No one
Yeah.
thinks we're going to do that. After you've
But
done
it's
it like
not
10
like he
times.
hasn't been the best defensive player in the league for the last 4 years.
Yeah, at least.
Like-
at least.
Jesus Christ. Like, Seattle, get a grip.
And Pete Carroll.
Yeah, I don't like the way Seattle are looking at all.
It's just all question. It's always
I
questionable.
like
with
the
Seattle.
Chiefs 2-3 better than Seattle's 2-3.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do not like the way Seattle
And
look at
Seattle's
all.
defense has been horrible for years now.
Yeah.
Since the Legion of Boom, it's been pus.
Yep.
Moving on.
That's straight.
That's
Gino's
hard.
old mob. Get
That's-
into it, Blaze.
That's straight facts from you, Schnazzy boy. The Jets, on a hiding to nothing here, they had a really, surprising win over Tennessee the week before. However, they've then gone into Atlanta and lost 27-20
No,
here.
this was in London.
Oh, this was the London game. Of
this
course
was
it
in
was.
London.
Yes,
Where
it's
they
one-
didn't have
one-
they didn't have a kicking net.
Yeah, one of the two.
Really?
No, they had to get some ladders and a
Uh-huh.
net and rejig this setup. And you can see, like, what's his name? Is it Wu or Sun Wu?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Coup.
Young
Coup.
Coup,
Coup.
yeah.
Young Koo. Yeah, that's good. I've been watching too much Squid Games. Anyway, we'll get back to it. Story for another day. I'll do a podcast about that maybe. He's just sitting there kicking into there's 2 ladders and then a net.
Oh, so on the sideline.
yeah,
then
he's just
there
sitting there
was
kicking
no-
into it. He's like, oh, okay, like, how do I
They're not very
practice?
big. I would have thought you could just get them on the plane and take them with you.
Yeah, who
Yeah,
knows?
right.
I forgot. Well, I mean, it's the Jets and the Falcons, so
It was
I
an
know.
obvious oversight.
Kyle Pitts had his breakout
was
game.
good. That was-
though.
that was-
Absolute breakout game. Huge game in fantasy.
Before
26ers.
Schnazzy went on his little Squid Game tangent, I was going to lead you into that big time.
Yeah,
But then-
I loved it.
I don't mind the Squid Game.
It
It's
took away.
topical.
It took away my
trending.
pain from Calvin Ridley not playing. That he had 9 receptions, 119 yards, and a touchdown.
Did Calvin's visa get bounced?
No,
or
personal reasons.
personal reasons.
personal
okay, fair
reasons.
enough. They
Yeah.
come around. But nothing else
Thinking
to
I
see
might
here.
name my kid Calvin.
Okay.
You having a kid?
Yeah.
Are you having a
Nice.
kid?
Yeah.
Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations,
thanks.
man.
Yeah. I think you already knew that.
No, we did, but like the fans at home, I'm not sure if they might.
Oh, the ones that watch, I reckon they did.
Yeah, good take from you. Atlanta took the chocolates 27-20. Nothing
Hit me
else.
up in the comments if you think Calvin has a good ring to it.
Run a poll.
DM Roxy.
She doesn't watch anyway.
Oh,
Oh, that's depressing.
I know. Panthers at Vikes.
Not that dastardly laughing gas
Panthers
again.
at Vikes. You're talking
Detroit,
about Detroit, Minnesota.
The Detroit Lions
Googling
are
it.
putting together one of the most honest 0-5s
Oh,
I've seen
mate.
in a while.
This is hard. This is starting to become hard to watch.
And
isn't
you
it?
know, Detroit.
Is it hard to watch though?
It's
Because
not. I actually like. You know how
They are
I feel
good.
like I fluctuate between feeling sorry for the Lions and then feeling like, nah, you
shit.
bring this shit upon yourself. But this year, like, I genuinely feel like no, they are super unlucky. It's getting to the point where it's just mean.
Well, you're seeing, a new head coach who obviously really, really cares about his playing group. He's out there
Yeah.
crying on the, in his press
Yeah, I
conference and all
had
the
no
rest of
time
it.
for him at the start of the year, but he actually looks like he's all right.
And if I was a Lions fan, I know there's about 7 of them, but
Yeah.
they would be feeling enamored with their new head coach. That he
Yeah.
does care. He does want
He
the
does
best
care.
for the,
It's,
And
and,
they
that's,
actually-
and that's the change from
They
last
actually
year.
look like a
Big
lot better
because they had
team.
no feelings last year.
Yeah.
Those
No,
fans.
yeah, they're numb. Yeah, and your bloke Akuta's not even playing.
No, that's no wonder.
maybe he could have slowed down a
This
couple of
is,
these.
no, it's serious.
field
It's not.
goal.
It's not funny anymore.
No, it's not. It's sad.
Like they were in front with 30 seconds to go. Kirk Cousins,
Yeah.
and that would sting. Kirk Cousins drives the field with 30 seconds to go, and then hits what I think was a 54-yarder.
Yeah.
Like from
To
the
be
middle.
fair, Kirk's having a not a bad season.
He's having a
putting together a
reasonable
tidy
year.
season.
No,
Reasonable.
his game on the weekend was crap.
No, but he's putting
he had
together-
12 fantasy points.
Not everything's about fantasy.
No, it is.
He's going. I'm with you, Schnell. I don't think he's going.
He's,
okay.
he's having a good year, and you know why that is? Because he's not playing any primetime games.
Yeah.
Next.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. New Orleans beat the Washington football team here 33-22. So
Weird game, this one.
the weird Jameis Winston Carnival just keeps
What are they? 3-2.
keeps
Yeah,
rolling
3-2.
on here.
He's-
Really hard team to pick at the moment.
He's like he's caught up with Kyler Murray in the preseason and taking his yo-yo.
Yeah.
Because, mate, he is up and down every single week. Like, what's he had? 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 279 yards. It looks like a genuinely
Yeah.
great quarterback.
Yeah, but he didn't play as good. He didn't look as good as what the numbers. Look.
Oh, I know. You got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, you put up 4 touchdowns against. Maybe this is.
There's
maybe
something
it's-
wrong with them as well. They're like the Chiefs are probably the biggest disappointment in the AFC, and Washington, I reckon, are the biggest disappointment in the NFC.
That's
Yeah.
where I was
Them to be
going.
2 and 3.
'Cause he's
From
put up-
where they looked last year, they were the team that got the closest to the Bucks in the playoffs. They've fallen off a cliff, and Heineke's been okay.
We spoke about their defense, their front seven being probably the best young front seven in the league. Now being replaced by Carolina.
Yeah,
From the way we're reading the situation, but
Although
something
they
is
didn't have
going
a
on
good
there. Like,
weekend either.
has Riverboat Ron forgot to return to the dock or something? Like
2 sacks on the weekend they had.
he's. Oh,
Riverboat Ron forgot to return to the dock.
I don't know, where is he?
I don't know.
Has he left his? Has he
He
left
could,
his?
be, he could be anywhere.
Is this defensive line still sitting in like I don't know? Where are they in the Maldives?
We don't know where Washington.
Didn't bring
we
his
know
boat
where,
back.
I was going to say we know where Washington are based. They're based in Washington, but they don't have a name
Do
still.
you think? Yeah. Do you think that's affecting their gameplay?
They don't have a name.
Lack of a mantra.
I reckon when you go to the huddle and they all sit there and they go, all right, hands in on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. They have to say go team.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah, go football.
Well, they'll have to go like an old sporting trope, like family or something like that. Do you reckon? Like 1, 2, 3 family, and try and
Oh, something.
bandy
yeah.
together.
No,
like,
yeah, to be something
lame like
it'd
that.
be Christian-y like
But, you know,
that.
if
You
it was
just
the
know
1,
it
2,
would be.
3 Red Wolves.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then you're on. Then you're out there
Nah,
taking
red
heads.
hogs. Give
Red
me
hogs.
red hogs.
Yeah, I think hogs is the.
I want red hogs
is
so
the pick of the
bad.
You
boys.
like big hogs.
Oh, gee whiz.
I don't know where it is
Yeah.
going, but
Anyway.
Anyway.
I've got some ideas. The New England Patriots, after nearly
You got
knocking
experience.
with big hogs.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, New England, Houston. What a game. This was a snoozer.
On the back of almost knocking off the Bucks the week before, the Patriots get the job done here against the Houston Texans, 25-22.
You had to try and throw that little tidbit in, didn't you?
I didn't have to throw it in at all. It's just fact. It's complete. It's there
So
on
this
public
is-
record.
This is probably the New England we sort of expected the week prior. So the game started with
They were lucky to win this.
both teams were lucky to even be playing on the field. So I reckon the first 3 drives of the game were all missed field goals.
Yeah.
It was just an absolute snoozer. Davis Mills finally put up some points.
Yeah.
Hasn't put up points the 2 weeks prior. So
Main concern here, surely New England secondary getting gashed by Davis Mills when they've just lost Gilmore to where did he end up going?
There was
Baltimore, Carolina.
Carolina.
if
There was
you've
only
been
one
gashed
missed
by
field
David
goal.
Mills, you probably shouldn't come out.
There was only one missed field goal for the whole game, so I don't know what game you
Must have been
talking about.
extra points.
Okay.
But what was Davis Mills' stat line in the end there, Chucky?
Davis Mills went 21 of 29 for 312 yards, 3 tuds, and no interceptions, Blaze.
Yes, so we
That's
gashed
not a bad day.
I know. Getting gashed by Davis.
They were up 22, 9
Normally
or 22
gashes get
something.
gashed by hogs.
You
Oh,
are
gosh.
staring so intently at me when you keep saying
Yeah, it's off-putting. They got away with a miracle here.
At least you're not in striking distance
Yeah. Well, yeah.
from his big.
He's probably a bit revved up from the Gypsy King as well. He's a bit of a
Yeah, he's
Oh.
a big bandwagon. Big old Gypsy King bandwagon.
Are you any danger to top me up?
Yeah, fair enough.
Moving to the next game.
While the boys handle that one, Tampa Bay, we mentioned it off the top here, Tom Brady had a career day. He had massive numbers, 5 touchdowns in the end, over 400 yards. And just one of those days where a lot of people were kind of suggesting, because the Patriots kept him reasonably quiet the week before, that Brian Flores was going to emulate the same.
You're the only one suggesting.
Well, it's out there. I'm telling it.
Oh,
Calling it like I see it, Slammer.
I'm 100%. So what I take out of the last 2 weeks with the Bucks
Yeah.
is that they can't play in the cold. Like Tom
Yeah.
Brady's just
that's
acclimatized
fair.
himself perfectly
Right,
to
yeah.
that humidity, the heat. And like the week before when we saw him play New England, he was missing passes, he was missing everything. And you're like, that Tom Brady doesn't normally miss
Do you
that.
think that's why he moved down to Tampa?
I reckon he might have. His old bones might have been getting a bit cold.
No state.
Prolong the career.
No state income tax is also quite tasty.
Yeah, that also helps. But he's come out on the weekend, had an absolute career day. It was absolutely like laser lines everywhere. Wasn't missing passes. Made Miami, whose defense last year looked pretty good with
The funny thing was,
your
this
mate
was
Xavier Howard.
this was 24-17 at 3/4 time.
Yeah.
Like, they rattled off 3 touchdowns. It was close.
Really
Yeah.
put
Like, it was
down type
competitive.
stuff.
And then they just
You know that they're the complete opposite side of the coin of the Kansas City Chiefs at the moment in the terms of they seem to have killer instinct again.
Yeah.
Like they've
it
just
hasn't
got
gone away.
They've just got better. And you look at that any receiving room that has an AB playing like he is.
Yeah.
At third,
It's kind of
in the depth
annoying that
chart.
he's there.
Is he even third?
That's where he's listed at the moment with Evans and Godwin. But technically, in my
That's
opinion,
crap.
he'd be
He's
a
the best
2.
wide receiver there.
Yeah.
I still think he'd be behind.
Based
Mike
along
Evans, technically.
based along skills alone.
Yeah, 100%.
But you're right, though. He's like your 4th or 5th option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Gronkowski's playing, like OJ Howard saw a bit more of the ball this week. But I mean, that team's just stacked. We called them the Monstars last year. They re-signed everyone. They're going to be one of the favourites for the Super Bowl. And I think that's all we need to say.
I actually think, now looking back at it, I feel like Dallas were super close to beating them, and
Probably
really, if
unlucky.
it wasn't week 1, if they play now, I feel like I'd back Dallas in because they've got a bit more synergy.
Yeah. And if it wasn't Tom Brady with a minute to go,
Yeah,
needing a field
exactly.
goal,
Like-
because that was just
On
predetermined.
It's like Dallas are the real deal, eh?
Yeah, I think Dallas is pretty
there,
decent.
so there were 2
Any
teams on
chance
the
that
day
was
as
a
well. So we
segue?
had Miami. What is going on with Miami?
Yeah, that's the other thing. After I just said that, they are seriously disappointing as well, aren't
Yeah.
They are. Like, have
Is
they
there
just
two?
they? I mean, their main guy Tua's not there, so you can't.
But
be too
Tua
upset.
didn't get them wins last year. It was their defense.
Yeah, but how long can you ask your defense to be the focal point of your team when it's such an offensively driven league? All the rules
Yeah.
are.
Does it make you wonder about the Deshaun Watson talk, and if, as it had an effect, they're just waiting for Deshaun Watson to rock in and change that offense now?
Is he going to fix that though?
Oh, he's pretty. He'd be
Yeah,
pretty close.
yeah. But by now, Blaze, it's been a long time since he's played.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I sort of sit there and think the front office walk in every day and see Tua, and then they see what Herbert's doing.
This season's
And then
very
they
cause
just
to a
literally get a
write-off
voodoo
for-
doll and start sticking it.
This season's very close to a write-off for Miami as it is.
Of
Who
all
have
the
they got?
places in America too, probably Miami you'd be able to
All
get
right.
a decent
Oh,
voodoo
you'd
doll.
get some weird stuff down in Miami.
Let's
Don't
get
you
some
worry about
tempo
that.
back in this.
They've got Jacksonville this week, so if they don't win that, season done.
Yeah. Don't
Oh.
mind that. And if Miami do win it, maybe it's bye-bye Urban Meyer, just quietly. If he's not gone by
He's
then.
probably the only other coach that's under the hot seat more so than John Gruden already was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair call. All right, like Schnazzy kind of mentioned, let's get some tempo going here, boys, and rattle
Yeah.
a few off. Green Bay Packers 25 at Cincinnati 22.
Oh, Cincinnati looked good.
Story of the day is field kicking.
This game should have.
Yeah.
I should have. After 5 missed field goals in a row, so the last 7 plays of the game.
Mason Crosby's strange as well.
Yeah, so he was on a hot streak of
reliable.
27 in a row.
Yeah.
So the last 7 plays of the game: missed field goal, missed field goal, missed field goal, interception, missed field goal, missed field goal, field goal. That's how the game ended.
Just stick
7
that.
drives.
Yeah,
On the last 7 drives
Yeah,
of the
right.
game. So that was predominantly between the last 3 minutes and then overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was to
Is
rest
that-
and I seen 5 missed field goals,
Yeah.
I would have just called it dead. That's a draw in my eyes.
The Bengals thought they'd kicked it as well. He hit the little bit of orange,
So
like
his first
wind
miss was
direction
a
thing up the
his
top of
first
the
miss
thing.
was a doink hit
Yeah.
the post.
Yeah.
And then he hit the wind, but he thought he hit it well.
Yeah,
but
they
so-
were all celebrating. They
Yeah.
and
thought
then,
they'd had
and
it.
then it's hit the flag. That thing, he kicked it from 50 odd yards out, and it's hit the flag at the top. That
Yeah.
thing would have travelled at
Yeah.
least 65
Yeah.
yards.
Yeah.
That was an unreal kick.
It
But
makes you wonder about Justin
Tucker.
Tucker's recent record.
Yeah.
Like how long that feasibly
I think
will
there was a
stand.
bit of wind or something because
Yeah.
there's
Must
no
have
way
been
you
something
miss
going
5
on.
in a row, especially like Crosby.
Yeah, it's got had to be
Crosby.
a difficult day for kicking, surely.
You
Because
would
they're,
have thought
they're
so.
like, what do you reckon? They'd have to kick it like 75% roughly.
I would have
Oh,
thought.
more than
I
that.
would have
From,
thought at least.
from within.
Yeah.
So they were
Inside
missing
40, they'd be really high. But
Yeah.
even like full stop, I reckon they'd be like 75%.
2 of Crosby's were less than 45 yards.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So yeah, there must have been something going on with the
Something
wind.
going on with conditions.
But the Bengals, like, they're looking all right.
they
They're fast tracked from where I thought they would be.
have since you gone past Carolina in your optimism stakes at the moment.
No, the defense is still better in Carolina.
Defense is better in Carolina, but the quarterback's, he's
Situation.
better in Cincinnati. And the young prospects
and
in
the Jamar
Cincinnati.
Chase
Yeah.
situation.
Chase
Chase-
Higgins, like,
Chase is almost
Good.
looking like the best player out of the draft.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
good. He's
and
really
Geordie picked him
bloody
up at
good.
6 in the draft.
Yes.
It's upsetting.
Speaking of high draft picks in our fantasy draft, Najee
Yeah.
Harris and the Pittsburgh Steelers roll on here 27-19 as Denver come crashing back down to earth
Yeah.
as they
Oh,
play,
he had a day too.
as they play legitimate football teams. They are struggling once again to
And
win
that's
games.
if you'd call Pittsburgh a legitimate football team.
That's a very touchy call,
Yeah,
isn't it?
isn't it?
Really,
I
but
don't know.
And
What
yet they've won the same amount of games as the
I don't know
Chiefs.
what. I'll be quick on this one. I don't know what to touch on with Pittsburgh this year. Like,
These teams both suck. I reckon that's about all you need to say.
perfect. Next game.
yeah, how about that? These teams,
They won't be playing in the playoffs. Does anyone really care?
No. other than your old
These
man.
are both teams
Your
that
old
won't
man
win.
would care.
No, he knows they suck. Neither of these teams are going to win 6 games. Big Ben should get benched. Give Dwayne Haskins a go because you're going to get the same amount out of him as you're going to get out of Ben. And Dwayne Haskins could be the future. He's probably not, but he could be.
Yeah.
Big Ben's definitely not. Move on.
Cop that. Philadelphia at
Unless you buy him a gopher. Might prolong his career another year or 2.
Okay.
He'd move around the pocket less
That's not possible.
or more.
Oh, here you go. End of Carolina.
Which
They
are-
were upsetting here.
Philly and Carolina.
Flattened me out, lads. I had the
They
Bengals
continue to
already.
struggle in the absence of C-Mac to really efficiently move the ball.
because
I
they
think.
were saying before the game that he was going to play.
touch and go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one here. The same thing happened last year. Like they got the quarterback in Sam Darnold. We know that Sam Darnold looked right in the first few weeks when C-Mac was playing. C-Mac's out and they lose to Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got something
He
a
had
bit-
1 touchdown.
I've
3
got something a bit
interceptions too.
spooky for you here, Schnaz.
Oh, here we
So
go.
did you catch that there was?
Halloween's coming up.
Did you catch that there was a streaker in this game?
Yeah, and he's something.
Oh, that is spooky. Did you catch that? Oh, jeez.
Oh, those listening probably didn't, but
No.
the flag just fell down.
Half the flag gone.
And that wasn't even scripted or nothing. That was just spit.
No.
What I was going to say before I got distracted by the presence of a paranormal entity in this room was that, oh
Oh.
my God, it's still moving.
Oh, right as you said it as well.
Oh,
Jeepers.
What happened was there was a streaker in the game. And
Stop talking.
Is it my voice? Am I reverberating that well?
It must be.
There was a streaker and he ran for more yards on the field than Jalen Hurts had moved the ball at that stage of the game.
yeah.
And
Unreal.
after that,
Wasn't
Philly,
he just sitting
Philly
on
went
the
on a
field?
17-0 run to win the
Yeah.
game.
They
21
didn't score a
to
point
8.
after the streak at Carolina.
Yeah.
And he was just sitting there, wasn't he, the bloke? The security
Yeah.
didn't even go for him. He was just sitting on the field.
It was amazing.
That's bizarre.
And it's just what you get in Philly and Carolina. But that's my
In
tidbit.
the Red River rivalry on the weekend, there was a fox on the field.
Yeah,
How weird's that?
that is strange.
Yeah, no.
It's getting really weird. We had a funny one last week, and 2 weeks ago, and now we've got the.
And shout out to Sizey, whose Texas team were absolutely smashing Oklahoma and went on to lose.
Yep, good on you, Sizels. Probably.
Shout out to Sizey, Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, well, they got the win. So
Yeah.
congratulations. He gets up every morning and struggles through that absolutely painful process of watching that football team. So I'm glad he got a win. Tennessee Titans, 37, back on the winners list here. Against the Jacksonville Jaguars team you should be beating anyway. 37-19 was the end result here.
Yeah, bit of a nothing game this one, wasn't it, Blaze?
Yep.
Trevor is all right, though. Trevor can play.
Yep.
And he is having to fix up a lot of holes on that offense and probably that defense.
The
In his
quality.
defense, Urban Meyer tried to plug one for him.
Urban Meyer could be the next coach gone.
Dead set.
Yeah.
If you had told me last week that it would be Gruden and not Meyer that was gone.
Mate, these Anyways, let's not touch on coaches.
No.
That's another topic for another day. But
Unless you want to talk about Brandon Staley.
yeah, he's a good coach. But then that brings me back to I get PTSD anytime I think about the Chargers coaching.
Fair enough. Too.
Well, on that topic,
James Robinson from the Jags had 18 carries for 149 yards.
that guy can play, man.
Yeah.
That guy can
for
play.
an
This is-
Imagine
yeah.
if they had Etienne as well and had
Yeah.
the two
But
punch.
why did they take Eddie when they got James Robinson?
Because a two-punch. I love a two-punch.
Yeah,
How good
but-
did Mark Ingram and Dobbins look the other...
Yeah.
Was it Dobbins?
Dobbins, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, but they've got so many more issues on that team.
Yeah, they do, but there was probably nostalgia there, and I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like the fact that he's torn his ACL is probably a great thing because they're
Anyways.
a higher pick again.
I think what they need to do here is they need to trade pick 1 or 2. It's them or the Lions are getting 1 or 2. They need to trade it, try get 2 first-round picks, get in a
3 first
receiver.
round. You can get 3 first round picks for pick 1.
They're probably
Actually, maybe not
Not
in
this
this
year,
market because
yeah.
there's no
there's no quarterbacks.
No quarterback.
unless there's a really good left tackle or something.
Depending on what's coming
Did you see
out.
Spencer Rattler even got benched on the weekend? They threw in a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, Rattler's been going downhill.
Yeah,
He's,
so there's like
Big Tom.
the
Yeah,
like
he's-
quarterback market coming out of college now is like plummeting.
Oh,
He
his
was an
Instagram
unbackable-
followers would be
he was an unbackable favourite in the Heisman. At the start of the
Yeah,
year.
absolutely.
You might actually get a skill position player win this year. Topic for another
That
day.
would be crazy. Imagine if a wide receiver.
I
or
mean,
a
last
running
year they
back
had a
went
skill
first.
position player win.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith won, right?
Yeah, no, but imagine if one of them went first in the draft.
Yeah.
If something other than like left tackle
Yeah.
or quarterback went first, that'd be the first time in a long
in
time.
an age.
It doesn't seem like a good draft crop coming out.
No, it really doesn't. It seems
don't-
weak.
There's not much noise, is there?
You don't have
But
too
there
early.
could still be
That's-
lots of good defensive players and there'd
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
no noise. But yeah.
You normally see him though.
There'll be 4 or 5 good defensive players from Alabama that you can pick up, I'm sure.
Yeah.
there'll be 7 of their players taken in the first round.
You won't have any issue with that.
Um,
The Cleveland Browns and the Chargers probably played game of the weekend here,
My
folks.
word, Blaze.
Both teams hit the
42.
overs themselves.
Yes,
I
exactly.
think-
Yeah. Cleveland 42, lost dead late to the Chargers 47.
Yeah.
I think
Herbert is
Herbert
legit.
is the real deal.
I think this is what it always comes
Bloke
back to. And we said at the
balls.
start of the year, Cleveland were going to be a great regular season team, but they just don't have that killer instinct because Baker Mayfield's not an
I
elite quarterback.
have said it before, Shaz. And fuck me, I'll say it again. Baker Mayfield's a really good quarterback when they're leading and people don't know he's about to throw the ball. When they're not leading with 2 minutes to go and people know that he has to throw the ball, he flat out sucks.
He's not an elite quarterback.
Like Joe Burrow better than him, Lamar Jackson better than him under the same circumstances.
And
I don't love Lamar in that circumstance,
in
but he
that
was able to do it
conference-
against Indy today.
in that conference, you're under the pump across
Yeah.
the board these days with quarterbacks.
Yeah. Even in that division.
And you're in a situation now where I think it was 2 to 3 minutes to go in that game. It's dead late. 3rd and 10, you're on the footy.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to use.
Like-
You have to
Yeah,
use.
and they
Josh
kicked the ball
Allen.
back.
You
To the
don't-
they kicked the ball back to the Chargers, who they hadn't stopped in the last 4 drives.
On 3rd and 10, man, I'm just yeah.
They were 14 points up early in the third in this,
yeah.
That's just where
and they had a 7-point buffer the whole time.
Keep-
It never got back to level.
Keep staring
Like,
me down while you say it too, baby.
It was
Just
like-
keep that intensity.
it
keep
was
that fire.
upsetting.
Yeah.
But you know who I do love, Blaze?
Who do you love, brother?
And how many times have I said I love him? All the bloody time.
Depends who you're talking about.
Mike Williams.
Oh, Mike Williams.
Mike Williams.
Yes, Mike
Mike
Williams.
Williams is fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah,
You
can
have
play.
a massive.
I love wide receivers, but he also plays in my fantasy team just as
You have Mike Williams. You love Mike Williams. You love Derwin James. You now love Herbert. I love Bosa.
I don't love Derwin James.
You're pretty high on
He
Derwin
loves
James.
getting injured.
He
He's
rates
I
Derwin.
does.
rate Derwin James, but I love wide
We're
receivers.
fangirling the Chargers hard.
I-
here.
the Chargers-
and
and
between
this-
us, we're double their fan population.
I know, yeah. It's bizarre. But
you're out
and
there-
they've got really good jerseys.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
we could get
they have got great jerseys.
we could get season
It's
tickets.
upsetting because I don't like them, but
We-
they've got great jerseys.
We could get season tickets to their games a lot easier than we could get ones at
I could
Arrowhead.
get them for free. It would
There
cost.
There
It
it
would
is.
cost nothing.
Yeah.
It would make us hiring a jet for the year seem worthwhile.
Fly us out.
Yeah.
We'll come. Moving on. But what a game, though.
Do
What a
you want
game.
some
Great
fans?
game. If you
Great
had-
game.
And Justin Herbert, by the way.
Feel bad for them because they never get to play in front of a home ground.
Here's a good one for you.
They actually play
Schnarly.
17 away games, the Chargers, all the time.
That,
doing
that
tough.
joke will never get old either.
They're doing
Yeah.
it tough.
Is Justin Herbert the second best or third best quarterback in the AFC right now? Or the fourth, technically, but I would say Jess probably second or third.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's the best.
Okay. Well,
He's
that's-
better than your Allen.
He's the best.
he's better than
Jeebus.
Paddy.
Herbert has...
He's playing better than Paddy
At the
right
moment,
now.
yes.
Yeah, he's not
Herbert
better
is
than Paddy.
honest. Like, I know Josh Allen hasn't had to do much the last few weeks, but the way Herbert's been playing and leading that team, he's the
Unreal.
best at the minute.
But
Yeah.
just quite like Mike Williams is
definitely fair.
certified number 1 on this team now.
Yeah.
Like he has surpassed Keenan Allen comfortably.
Keenan Allen's playing more of a,
This
ro-
dude
a
is
route
a
running.
serious like long play
Even
threat.
Eckler as a running back is a
They-
dual threat.
he
running
loves
back.
throwing tutties to Mike Williams.
I was going to say Austin
2
Eckler.
touchdowns, 165 yards.
Austin
That's
Eckler
godly.
is Austin Eckler is a scary prospect.
He has injury problems though.
He
Yeah,
does.
but
He's
yeah.
a small fella.
But he's good coming out of the backfield.
You know who he reminds me
Yeah.
of? Jordy Seller, who's tiny.
Yeah, and
Does
he's bald.
remind me of Geordie Seller too.
And white.
Great call.
Brilliant.
Tanned.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago. Any other?
Midget.
Short.
Hang on, let me check how tall Austin Eckler is. It won't take long.
Yeah, you do that. We'll do this.
Chicago at Raiders. The Raiders' tumultuous week culminated today with the firing of John Gruden, but
That's a very diplomatic way to say that. Love
yeah,
that.
I'm steering
I think
clear
we-
of it.
I think we just go straight through this game. Like
5'10", 178.
Fields didn't look great, if I'm being honest.
but got the job done.
They won.
Derek Carr has absolutely fallen off a cliff since week 3.
Yeah, after we sang his praises.
Is
And
it
that's
because
all that's-
expectation comes on that bloke and he goes to water?
To be fair, I watched some
It's
of the
not
highlights.
a
and
lot.
he's-
There was a fair bit going on in that organisation.
Yeah, there was-
True.
No, I'm sure you
There's
can
a
blame
lot
him for
going
that.
on, and then there's also a lot of receivers dropping a lot of balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Inconsistency.
But, sorry, because we didn't film last week, I didn't get to say what I wanted to say. Hunter Renfro is a serious weapon.
Can play.
For a bloke that's not very big,
He's about
Like-
5'10" too.
You mean
Yeah.
Third and Renfro?
yeah. Like, the bloke... He just,
All third downs exclusively go to him.
Yeah.
and last week on the fake punt that the
Special
Chargers tried to
teams
pull, he
Renfro.
absolutely lit up a bloke.
Yeah. He's a smart
He
footballer.
can seriously play.
He's
There
a
was-
Clemson footballer.
He was a Clemson
There was
footballer.
a movement-
He caught the winning touchdown.
He did.
Yeah.
There was a movement on Twitter trying to get his awareness on Madden to 99
Yeah,
from about
he
70
is
odd. 'Cause I
fantastic.
reckon he's that smart.
He is outstanding.
It's a good
I
little
really, and I hate the Raiders,
Yeah.
but I really like him.
Hunter Renfro. Congrats.
Mm. Also on my fantasy team.
Let's pump our way through the last
There's a
four.
theme, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's all about you, champ.
You can
Arizona.
tell we haven't been with each other like we missed last week, and
Yeah.
the chat's high.
yeah, the chat's high, bant's
It's
high.
been long, hasn't it?
Yeah, we're probably edging up a little bit,
Yeah.
but we're all right.
I'm surprised you haven't mentioned that you're 5-0 in fantasy this year.
I'm undefeated. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going great guns.
There
How's your tipping going?
Well,
We'll get to that.
We'll get to it.
Arizona 17. They continue their winning ways. They're also 5-0,
Is
much
there
like my
ever-
fantasy team.
Is there a less talked about undefeated team than the Arizona Cardinals, who have beaten what 3 divisional opponents now?
Yeah,
Can I just say
and
though,
3 strong sides.
this game was totally underwhelming.
Yeah, it was great.
With how much of a
Trey
firecracker
Lance started.
Arizona's been
Yeah.
on offense, you're going up against Trey Lance. Who's a
Why
rookie
did
quarterback.
Trey Lance start? Did he just get the
I
job?
think
or-
Garoppolo's injured.
Oh, he's injured, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that game, I don't reckon we can. I don't really want to talk about it. None of the receivers
No.
did well.
Although I will give a shout out to Rondale Moore, the wide receiver rookie. He actually had a pretty nice day.
Out of Drew Brees' college, Purdue. Just for the record.
There you
Take
go.
that one.
the old black and gold.
Black and gold, baby. Dallas Cowboys.
They had the female kicker.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it was Purdue.
No, Vanderbilt.
Oh, same
Yeah.
uniform.
And
Yeah.
Vanderbilt's suck.
Dallas 44, New York Giants 20.
Dallas are the real deal.
Certainly in the NFC East.
They are going to absolutely smash this division.
Yeah,
They
and they're
will win
smashing
this
it.
division by 5 games.
They're smashing
If
the
not
pieces
6.
already. Yeah.
What's it look, who's like? The other team would have 2 wins.
How
They're
Washington?
4. Like, yeah.
How blessed are they in that division?
Oh, kissed on the
And you know what?
bleep.
There was
But
so much talk. You know what I want to say? There's a lot of naysayers out there last year when they signed up Dak,
Yeah.
even though he was injured.
how good is Tavon Diggs?
Dak has been fantastic.
Yeah.
And
We'll get to Tavon Diggs. He's been unreal on defense.
repaid the faith, though. Dak
He
has
has-
tenfold.
And then, you know what? Even Ezekiel Elliott, he's gone.
Yeah, he's had a
I've
career
got some
resurgence after I
competition.
traded him to Blaze.
I've got some competition in Pollard. I've got Dak back. I'm actually going to
Yeah.
try this year. He is flying. Pollard's flying. They almost got that 1-2 punch out of the backfield going.
Take
You
it
just
to
told me you hated 1-2 punches.
Yeah, I know, but when you're drafting,
when it looks good and when it works, it looks fantastic.
But when you've got they didn't reach for Pollard to get it. It didn't cost anything.
No, he's costing nothing.
So they used the first round at Eddie, and that's where the differential is.
The way Dallas have put it together on defense they've just hit on like 3 or 4 defensive players like Tavon Diggs, Micah Parsons.
Parsons is good.
Parsons is insane.
Parsons is
There's
good.
a fella on the defensive line whose name is like really hard to say, but he's been fantastic as well.
Their defense has come on leaps and bounds from last year. Their offense with Dak back on the field. These guys are genuinely like, I'm going to say a Super Bowl threat.
They could get there.
Osa Odigazua. Yeah, he's fantastic. I'm just like they're killing it. Like they on defense, they are fantastic. It just shows how like in the space of 1 or 2 drafts, if you hit and they've hit it at corner, they've hit it linebacker, they've hit it defensive line. Like if you hit on a few and they all work and you're young and they're not paying them anything and they're like playing at a top level, you can go from being mediocre to really good really quickly in the NFL. It's why the NFL is like super watchable.
Yeah.
Because you can be crap one year, like them or like Cincinnati, and then the next year you can be way better.
Let's not throw Cincinnati. Let's not throw Detroit into that.
The way that the way they looked last year to the way they looked this year.
What you're saying is conceptually it's doable.
Yeah, you can be bad and then be really good in the space of 2 or 3 years.
Unlike the North Melbourne
Unless
Kangaroos.
you are the Lions.
Yeah.
In which case you are stuck in an eternal pit.
The last game, quickly.
Indianapolis Colts today went down to Baltimore. Pretty much an unlosable situation for the most part. 16 points up in the last quarter.
This was unbelievable.
Baltimore on the back of Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews almost exclusively ran them down here. Hollywood Brown got it done in overtime, but 31-25 was the final score. Lamar gets the chocolates. Again, a little bit underwhelming Baltimore for
They are the worst 4-1 team I have ever seen.
Yeah, but kudos
they
where
are
kudos
4-1,
is due. It's 4-1. So
I sit here now thinking, how did Indy lose that game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I still don't know. So that's all I can say on this.
Okay, well, he doesn't know, folks. And
if they hadn't lost to the Raiders in overtime in week 1, they'd be 5-0. And they are so not a 5-0 team.
Yeah.
Like they escaped against the Lions with that ridiculously long field goal.
Yeah.
They got lucky against us with a fumble inside their 30. And then they beat the Broncos, who suck. And then they were 16 down today.
Yeah.
Like, you're the could-be specialist. They could easily be 1-4.
No, they could be. And that's why I took Indy. And that's why in the group message today, we were talking about guarantees maybe in the next episode because we're running a bit over here. I sent in straight away. I was like, Indy at the line. Like, the line was like 7.5 for this game.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way Baltimore are going to win by more than a score.
Yeah.
Because that's all they've been winning by. They've been escaping all year.
Yeah.
Their fourth quarter drives, like, full credit to Lamar as well.
Yeah,
this has come out of
did
nowhere.
something you can't do.
But anyways, I'm still lost how Indy lost this game.
Yeah, it doesn't actually make sense.
Blankenship.
Yeah, he should have been iced on the way home.
They should have been out by 10 with 2 minutes to go.
But
They blew it.
stay tuned to all our socials,
And then they had a chance to win it on the buzzer.
Stay tuned to all our socials and obviously your podcast or YouTube platforms there for our preview episode as we'll dive in, no doubt, into Baltimore's next matchup and everything else NFL for Week 6. In closing, the tips.
In closing, the guarantee got up. So if you followed, you're an absolute weapon and you've got $340 in your account. Loves it. Tennessee, Minnesota, the Chargers, Dallas, Arizona.
We might do a bit more of an analytical piece on that in the next episode.
Yeah, we might
rather
break it
than
down.
Just word vomits.
Which I think was the plan, but sometimes Chucky wants
the tips will cover.
But I want it.
Next week as well.
Yeah.
And I
next
got
episode.
It.
Ultimately, I'm just going to say Slammer leads on 53, you're on 52, and I am on a measly 50 after a light week 4. But with all that said and done, thank you for joining us tonight, Slammer.
He's been Slam, I've been Slam. That's the Bandwagon fan. Good night.
Arrivederci.